Hey guys, it's Lauren. I'm so happy to be doing this post this afternoon. It is Sunday, and it's another kind of edition of Sunday in My Sweat. See, so today I really just wanted to connect with you guys about party planning, and that's what this post is going to be about. And you can find more pictures about the party that we just had this weekend for my son. It was the second birthday party, pirate party, and you can find all the pictures on our blog. It's at www.lifeinthewild.com, or you can follow us on Facebook or do both. The Facebook page is also Facebook.com/Life in the Wild. So follow us on there to see more details and more pictures about this. But what I really wanted to do was walk through kind of how to plan a party and stay on budget and stay on task and kind of the time frame of it all so that you don't spin out of control. And then also wanted to walk through kind of where we got the stuff for the pirate party. I had some people ask questions about, my son wants to have a pirate party. What do I do? Coco actually sent me a question last night, and so I hope that I answer this for you. But anyway, let's get started. So first and foremost, rule number one about party planning is have a plan. You've got to have a plan. So for me, like for instance, I'm going to use this pirate party throughout this post of just kind of talking through how we did these things. So there's lots of different ways to have a plan. First of all, you want to know, what's your theme going to be? It may not be something as easy as pirates or Disney or Mickey Mouse or something like that. It might be, like a girls' luncheon and just kind of a get together. But what's the theme? Is it just going to be like a sweet, is it going to be mostly flowers and white tablecloths? Is it going to be elegant, or is it going to be eclectic? Is it going to be anthropology-like? Or do you want to carry through a theme? Like, do you want to have a theme of reconnecting? And in that way, you could put that in different ways throughout, maybe table settings or something like that. So definitely pick a theme. The other thing is, once you have a theme, and once you kind of have a plan of what you want, you've picked your dates, you've picked times that work best for you. Sometimes things are around a date. For instance, with this pirate party, it was my son's birthday, so it needed to be close to his birthday. But for instance, my nephew has a birthday in January also. So we had to plan around. He actually planned the party the Saturday after my son's actual birthday. So we had to be conscious of that. We had to plan around that kind of thing. So definitely plan. Pick your dates. And I would say the second thing is have a backup plan. Because, like for us, I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought it was going to be on the 18th, but it wasn't. So we had to have a backup plan. We had to check with everyone. If you want people to be at your party, I would say call them, ask them. You know what? Before I send this invite out, is the 25th okay? Does that work for you? What works best? If you find out that, 10 of your closest friends or 10 of the people that have kids are going to be out of town, maybe that's not the best day. You might want to reschedule. So definitely have a plan, have a backup plan in a lot of different ways. So we've talked about planning the date and the time. And then the time's crucial too, because if it's for kids, you want to be mindful of nap times and fussy times and that kind of thing. And also, if you have a party at 2, then that means that you don't really have to have a full meal because they've probably already eaten by then. If you have a party at noon, you want to have a full meal of food. But so you got to be mindful of that also. If it's a party for adults, if you have it on a weeknight, you got to make sure that everybody's out of work. Maybe they can go home and have time to change, and then maybe have your party at 8. You don't want to have it at 5 when no one's going to be able to get there. So keep that in mind also. So the other part of the planning, I would say, is if you're going to do backdrops and you're going to stick to a theme and kind of the stuff that I'll show you that we did for the pirate party, it was very detailed. So I would say another part of the planning is sketch it out. And some of my friends make fun of me of this, especially this past pirate party. I really, really wanted this specific cake for Halston's pirate party. And I wanted it like red and white stripe on the bottom and waves on the top and, like the island on the top of the waves and all of that. And so there's really no better way to do that than to just sketch it. If you're not a perfect drawer, it doesn't really matter. You can put kind of lines to the sides of what you mean, like you can draw wavy lines and say waves looking like water or something like that. I will put a picture probably right here of the sketch that I did for Halston's cake. And when I went there, she kind of laughed at me and she was like, yeah, we could do that. That sounds good. So, and I'll go into detail about that more later, but sketch it out. Sketch out if you're going to have a dessert table, which is really popular these days. what does that look like? Where do certain things go? I mean, you don't really know until you sketch it out how much money you're going to have to spend on that, because it can get expensive. And, what really are you going to eat? If you really only want to make cake pops and order a cake and have some cookies, it doesn't make sense to have an entire table of that. If you're big on sweets and you want to have candy and cookies and cake pops and bars and everything, and it's going to be a big sweet table, then great. You want to plan that out. Also, the big thing these days are backdrops. We had 2 backdrops. I'll try to put pictures here, or I'll just put them on my blog. But we had a backdrop on the food table, which was all kinds of food. It was chips and it was kind of like a buffet table, chips and sandwiches and that Jello and fruit and that kind of stuff. So behind it was a booth backdrop. And then we also had a backdrop on another area that was for a photo booth. So, keep that in mind. If you're kind of a photo booth person and you love to post things to Facebook or Instagram and your friends like that too, then have a photo booth. If you're going to hashtag like I said, spring luncheon, reunited luncheon get together or whatever, and that's how you guys are going to follow each other's pictures, then do that. That's fun. But you want to plan it out, and the best way to do that, and this would go to number 2 in my party tips, are, and as far as planning it out, making a plan, use Pinterest and use Google. Definitely, 100%. Party planning can be really in depth, and we always say this after every party. I said, God, next year, I don't think I'm going to go to all this trouble. But then when the year rolls around, you do it anyway, because you want it to be cute. You want the kids to have fun. You want to put your best foot forward if you're going to have people over to your house or if you're going to host something. So, I would definitely say don't put yourself through all the effort of coming up with a brand new idea or a brand new design or something like that. Or, if you have something in mind that you want to use, don't do all the legwork. Chances are, especially like something like a Jake and the Neverland Pirates party, people have done it before. So it's okay to use other people's designs and put something different on it and make it your own. Chances are all the people that you're inviting to this pirate party haven't been to another pirate party, so it's totally fine. I went on Pinterest. I got tons of ideas, and that's where I kind of stood and saying, like, this is going to be a good idea. We're going to move forward with this party. I mean, it could have been Jake. It could have been Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. It could have been Caillou or something else that Halston likes. It could have been like a sports party. But I had the ideas. It looked like there was going to be a lot that I could do with this party, and he loves it, and so we went ahead with it. So yes, use Pinterest. You want to use it for the theme. That's the thing I was just talking about. I mean, if you are looking things up on Pinterest and Google and you don't see anything, it's probably going to be hard to find stuff that you want for that party, or you're going to have to create it. So keep in mind, do you want to do that? Do you want to do all the design? Do you want to do all the footwork for that? That's your choice. Also, ideas for once you do find a theme, what do they have for their food? What do they have, like, for instance, for the pirate party that people used goldfish bread, Pepperidge Farm goldfish bread for the sandwiches because it's pirates and fish and stuff. And, different, like on the hot dog, they put a sail and things like that. So those ideas, that's great. That's great to find on Pinterest, Google. I mean, there's great party blogs these days. I'll put some links here or underneath in the description. Whoops. But Hostess with the Mostess, I mean, extravagant, crazy parties. And not to say that you have to be as extravagant or that you even have that gene. I mean, she is unbelievable. But it's good ideas. You can find great ideas there. There's other blogs too. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think. Tomcat Studio, they do great parties. But anyway, so use it. Use the internet. Use these blogs, Pinterest, all of that stuff. It also gives you a good idea for how to save money. I mean, a lot of people are not, I don't even care to say how much money I spent on this party. But a lot of people don't want to do that or can't do it. Or even if they can do it, they're like, what's the point? I'm not going to go overboard and spend hundreds of dollars or whatever on this party. Some people like to do it, so it's fine. But if you search on Google and on Pinterest and on these blogs, they'll say, how to have a party for this amount. Or if you wanted to have this, think of this kind of snack. It's easy. You can put it in little baggies and it's cheap, that kind of thing. So definitely research before you get going. The third thing I would say in having a successful party is ask your friends and family for help. I mean, I feel like sometimes we feel like it's our party and it's our doing and we don't need to ask people. And there's lots of different ways that people can help. If you want to do something that's really new and fun, ask your very creative friend what her ideas are, or, what parties she's planned or what she thinks. And they'll sometimes take the stress off of you. They also can help you with stuff. I mean, one of my very best friends who is like a party planner extraordinaire. I mean, she's amazing. She does a million of them. Maybe I'll put her picture right here because she is fantastic and she helps me with every single party. But she has a garage that literally looks like a party rental store. So she's got cupcake holders and, cake plates and I don't know, glass bowls that you can put flowers or things in, vases, trays, and they're all different. And she spray paints in different colors to match different themes and that kind of thing. So that's the perfect friend to say, you know what, here's my sketched out idea. Here's my plan. Is there anything you have that I could borrow that would help me with this type thing? So that way they don't have to spend any money. They don't have to spend any, time or anything like that. They just you can borrow and you don't have to spend all this money. Other people are people who sew, things like that. They probably have tons of fabric in their sewing room or something like that, that maybe you could use. Think of things like that. Also, if you're going to have a really nice dinner party, like a sit down dinner party, you might ask your family or your mother, do you have any nice china? Maybe you don't have any, or do you have any nice goblets for water or wine glasses or something like that? So definitely ask your friends and family for that. Also, and the last thing, and I guess they have to be a really, really good friend or family member for this, but ask for their time. For me, for instance, doing this, I had to do a lot of stuff while Halston was here. I'm a single mom. No one's here to babysit or anything. So for me, I asked my mom a lot of times, like, while I'm planning this, can you watch him? My best friend again, which I thank her profusely every single time, but she's here the day of, and she usually is helping me do things while I'm dealing with getting my son down for a nap or getting ready. I mean, you want to leave time when you're preparing for a party to get ready, do your hair, do your makeup. You don't want to spend all this time and energy and then you didn't have time to do your hair or makeup or look cute for pictures or welcome your guests, and look put together. So it's good to ask for time too. I mean, you don't have to, certainly, but I find it, and we find it, I think, because we love doing this, but kind of a bonding experience. I mean, the next time she does a party, she'll call and she'll be like, oh my gosh, look what I found on Etsy. This is so cool. Can you come over and help me make pom-poms? So it's kind of fun. Like, get people involved, ask your friends, ask your family for sure. It will make it a lot less stressful on you, I promise. So the fourth thing is set up beforehand. You've planned everything. You've asked people for help. You've Googled, used Pinterest, you know what you're going to do. I would say when you're going to the store and you're buying stuff, first of all, the planning helps you tremendously in that, because you're not just kind of saying like, well, this is pirate stuff and there's some hooks and, there's some patches and all this. And all of a sudden you buy all this stuff. And then when you finally planned your party out, you're like, oh, I really didn't need all of that. And at party planning stores that are like warehouse stores, you a lot of times can't take things back. That's why you do definitely want to be planned. Another reason why you definitely want to be planned. But once you do get everything and you've shopped and you've got it all together and you know what you're going to do, definitely set it beforehand. I had a backdrop behind our food table, like I was telling you guys, and I had it up in my house for probably 4 days. There was just a time where I did have some time to put it up. And so I kind of, took my time. I think I did it over like maybe 1 or 2 days. And then we also set up the table in front of it with the tablecloth and everything. And so as I was buying things, like for instance, the wood barrels that I wanted to kind of put the juice boxes on top of, or the Jello on top of, or whatever, I just went ahead and put it there. So you're kind of, time saving. You go, you buy something, you go put it where it needs to be. Now, some of you with kids are like, yeah, right, like I can do that. My kid will rip that up, and that's your choice. I thought Halston would do that, but it was a rule in our house. It was like, you do not touch it. You don't go near it type thing, and he didn't. So I would definitely say do as much as you can beforehand so that you're not just crazy running, because on the day of, sometimes you have to do things like go pick up balloons, go pick up the cake. So anything that you can do beforehand, definitely do it. And again, if your friends are available and they can say, hey, I'm on my way over to help anyway, what can I pick up? Can I pick up these balloons? Can I pick up your cake? What can I do? That is a huge help also. So I would say definitely set up beforehand. The very last thing on how to have a successful party and make it a little bit less stress-free is, and I touched on a little bit before, but make time for yourself. Make time to enjoy it. If you spent all this money and time and energy on a party, make sure that you've got the time to get ready and feel good about your outfit and your hair.